And is it live? It should be live. Come on. Come on, YouTube. Takes 20 seconds to go live. Apparently more. Sometimes it doesn't work, so let's refresh. There we go. Come on, you can do it, YouTube. You can do it. Oh man, what is going on? My computer's freaking out. Oh, I'm so this was my bad. I had OBS on the wrong scene, which is weird because anyway, I don't know why it chose my my webcam, which is black because the other OBS is using it. So only one. I guess I could go like this, and then the other stream can see me by way of all the fucking pictures and pictures you're seeing here. It's enough to make your head spin. But we're gonna go back to the screen so that I have basically the same thing. There's a multicast, baby. Let's go. I like on Twitch I don't have to rename the goddamn stream, although it's not a bad idea to name things. Alright, so what I wanted to do is live stream me boosting this post. So first let's watch this post, or this video. I think this is pretty interesting. What if life were fake? Like, I don't know, all this alien bullshit and all the software is just an illusion of the system, and definitely don't trust it. I could imagine that there are a lot of different things going on in terms of the reality of nature, of spirituality, and what are spirits? What are we? Where are we really living? Or like, is this real life? That's the question. And or is it a matrix, or a video game, or a simulator, or a physical extension of the spiritual reality? Is real life spiritual? I think most people kind of have that sense. I mean, it's like, what's behind your eyeballs? Probably some spiritual energy. And it's like our brain energy. There's obviously all the circuitry of the brain and the eyeballs and the optic nerve and the nervous system. And do we know how that works? It seems like there's a lot of smart people, but we still have very little idea how the brain and body and spirit and all of these things work. Like the DNA sequencing, the Human Genome Project has come a long way, but I still don't think we really understand the code. It's like DNA controls proteins, but is that the full story? I mean, DNA is pretty crazy. DNA is pretty fucking crazy. Like at the microscopic, nanoscopic, I mean, like how small is DNA? I don't even know. Can you see it with a microscope? I never have. But how does that code work? It's a pretty deep question. Maybe one that we should put the entire world collectively towards trying to figure out, so that if we get another COVID 9000, maybe way worse, we're not wiped off the face of the planet. Maybe we should do that instead of building nuclear weapons. Just saying. Like, how is there so many smart people on the planet and yet we're on the brink of World War III, like total global annihilation, nuclear war, and nobody is saying anything. Like, nobody, well, there's people saying stuff, but nobody cares. That's the problem. How come nobody cares? Everybody wants to, like, play video games, watch sports, jerk off to porn, like, drink beer, smoke weed. It's fucking crazy, man. I'm gonna boost this one. Yeah. So, I'm going to boost this one, and I think the best way. No, wrong one. Boost it right on. I could upload it to YouTube too, but we're going to start with this one. Well, fuck, here's the problem. On X, I can boost it and people can see it and potentially follow me if they click on my account. But I don't know. Why boost it, right? It's like, I know what's going to happen. Twitter's going to take my money and nobody's, well, here's what happened last time. Let's go find lifetime, sure. Spent all this money, collectively $300, almost anyway, and got 300,000 impressions, but got like 10 new followers. So I was like, are there any real people on Twitter, or are they all bots? I don't know. I'm feeling kind of nervous. Not nervous, but like anxious or strung out or cold. Fuck. I'm gonna go get a hoodie. I guess I'm gonna leave this running. No, I'm not. Like, what am I doing? It just takes so long to turn both of them on. I feel like I should leave it running. Should I boost this? That's the big question. That's what I was gonna turn this on to do. I think this is kind of a worthwhile message that could get me some attention. And Lambie versus Musk, jail for free speech. What the fuck does that mean? Wait, what? Elon Musk should be imprisoned for allowing free speech on X. For one, he bought it. It's his fucking thing, and he can do whatever he wants with it, in my opinion. And secondly, we have free speech. If you don't like what's on there, don't go. Right? Like, people should be allowed to say whatever they want. Maybe with some exceptions, but you got to be really careful when you start censoring free speech. It's like, who gets to make those decisions and why? And if there's any political fuckery going on, which there was, clearly, massively, like, unbelievably so, I don't understand how there's any Democrats left. Like, how can you follow a party that has been so maliciously illegal, in my opinion, but also weaponizing the legal system against Trump and his followers, his whole administration's in jail, right? Like, and they'll be like, yeah, well, they messed up. It's like, well, come on. I don't think it's fair. I don't know all the details, but I don't think it's fair. And yeah, Elon Musk set Twitter free, so thank God he did. I don't understand what's going on here, but it seems pretty fishy, to say the least. And I think there's massive corruption. And I don't know if they want World War III. I think some of them do. I think some rich people are probably rich people and poor people are kind of like at odds eternally because it's the haves and the have-nots. The people who get to make decisions and have lots of money, and the people who have to work hard and get paid very little. Um, well, so here's kind of the thing, the story or the struggle. I guess I have 248 followers now. I only had like 150 last time I looked at this, so maybe my $300 has gotten me more like 100 new followers. It's taken a while. And honestly, I've been doing this kind of like organic, you know, if I go to my homepage, a lot of posts I get are these people. And I don't know if they're bots, but it seems like people who are trying to connect with different web tech stuff. And I should probably try and create a list of these people and I was going through these and responding when I would follow them and say connected, which basically they're asking to connect, and I'm saying, yes, I followed you. And then when I say connected, it's sort of like, yes, done. Now you do the same. The reciprocal follow is a good way to build followers. It's a grind. It's like, how many people are you going to follow and comment and try and interact with, and how long does that take? And they're most likely not going to follow you back just because people are shitheads, I guess, and that's how things are. Fellow indie hackers, you've got to be kidding me. Fucking hate indie hackers. Isn't that great? Free speech. You can say whatever you want. How about indie hackers number 2? All right. What a great post. If anyone sees this, it's like, man, either this Michael Lewis guy is full of shit, or maybe he's not wrong. That was one of my posts. Like, God, I'm not fucking wrong, but nobody like responds. I'm like, I'm fishing. I'm like putting bait out there. Like, look, somebody say something. Nobody'll respond, and it's really upsetting. Thought I was following Jack. I guess we'll follow him again. Bitcoin and chill. I'm not a fan of Bitcoin. If you're interested in joining my mastermind, first 1,000 members are free. Oh, fuck. I got like 20 people in my Discord. Still waiting on the next 980 before I can charge money. Pretty cool graphic, though. I made it myself. Anyone want to email me? Here's my email address, mike@lou42. Tried to live stream some shit. Posted some... This is an article. Like, Twitter is just this mess of things now. It's so disorganized. I mean, believe me, I'm disorganized as fuck, so I'm not being overly critical, but there's, especially when you go to premium. I should stream this to Twitter too, right? I got YouTube open, and should we do a triple stream? Why the fuck not, right? Are my fans on? My laptop will overheat if I start doing all this video business. Let me get my thermometer open here. 82. I think that's within the... I was reading something that the other day that said 80 to 85 is kind of like the maximum range. These are Celsius, so that's like 150 degrees or so. What's 77 degrees? 170. It's pretty hot. If I turn my fans on, they're pretty loud and they make the microphone audio kind of shit. But if I'm double streaming and it's getting warm like that, I think you guys will have to listen to my shitty audio because I don't give a fuck. I have 0 viewers on Twitch and probably the same on YouTube, so doesn't matter, right? Well, why not? Let's go live on Twitter. Forget what I need to do this. I think it's just a stream key. I think it's this one, right? So, need a new OBS. And we need to do the screen and let's change some settings. Going to Twitter. Ooh, which one? I don't know. I did this one before. Does it say here? Source URL? I don't know if that's where I need to go. That would be the destination, not the source, right? Fucking hell, man. I hate settings. Let's just try East. I thought I used East last time, so we're gonna go with East. And change this. And okay. And start streaming. Seems to be connected to something. It's pushing data. Seems to be connected to something. Oh, I can hear myself. It's pushing data. Seems to be connected to something. Oh, all right. Mute that. We are connected. Create broadcast. Okay. I think I leave this open. Something, right? Or do I pushing data? Seems to be connected to something. Oh, or the analytics. Pushing data. All right, be quiet. Holy shit. I thought I muted it already. All right, we are streaming. If I go to my profile, it should have something about me being live? No? Oh, I didn't post it. There's like this post button. Okay. Analytics. Pushing data. All right, be quiet. Holy shit. I thought I muted it already. All right, we are streaming. If I go to my profile, it should have something about me being live? No? Oh, I didn't post it. There's like this post button. Okay. Analytics. Pushing data. All right, be quiet. Holy shit. I thought I muted it already. All right, we are streaming. All right, I posted to my profile, I guess, and I am streaming. I am triple streaming. I have to run 3 instances of OBS to do it, which is gonna like melt my computer. I need to keep an eye on the temperature. It was at like 90 something the other day, and that's way too hot. I was getting blue screens of death while trying to play video games the other day. This won't go any smaller. What the hell? my computer would just like force shut down because it got way too hot. And I actually thought it was the GPU because I was playing video games, but turns out it's not NVIDIA, it's Intel. This is the problem here. They're too hot. So maybe sell that shit. Just kidding. All right, so this is the video. I was thinking about promoting it, but I could also try and promote the live stream. I've done both. I don't know if it helps. I don't know if there's any real people out there. I was doing some animation shit, and oh my god, why? Why? Escape! Holy crap, Figma. What the hell was that? Been doing some animation stuff in Figma, and, well, it's a whole nother story, but where's my... Here we go. It's my last one. I was doing titles somewhere. I don't know. I was using this one, actually. Yeah, nobody cares. That's kind of a problem. So what do I do now? Do I just sit and watch my my live stream? Where was the thing? I think I need to click back in here to see the analytics, to see that nobody's watching. Yeah, nobody cares. That's kind of a problem. So what do I do now? Do I just sit and watch my my live stream? Where was the thing? I think I need to click back in here to see the analytics, to see that nobody's watching. What if I set up a little graphics panel here? Yeah, nobody cares. That's kind of a problem. So what do I do now? Do I just sit and watch my my live stream? Where was the thing? I think I need to click back in here to see the analytics, to see that nobody's watching. Set up a little graphics panel here. Yeah, nobody cares. That's kind of a problem. Half screen. So what do I do now? Do I just sit and watch my and present this bed? My live stream. Where was the thing? I think I need to click back in here to see the analytics, to see that nobody's watching. Set up a little graphics panel here. Yeah, nobody cares. That's kind of a problem. Half screen. So what do I do now? Do I just sit and watch my and present this bed? My live stream. Where was the thing? I think I need to click back in here to see the analytics, to see that nobody's watching. Set up a little graphics panel here. Yeah, nobody cares. That's kind of a problem. Half screen. So what do I do now? Do I just sit and watch my and present this bed? My live stream. Where was the thing? I think I need to click back in here to see the analytics, to see that nobody's watching. Set up a little graphics panel. I need... Yeah, nobody cares. That's kind of a problem. Why is this half screen? So what do I do now? Do I just sit and watch my and present this bed? There we go. If I start listening to my own stream, which happens when I click the wrong button, it starts playing on repeat. We still have no viewers, so that's good. I'm setting up some graphics right now, which is proving to be harder than I thought it should. But if we do this, and this, and this, and make this a little darker here, and then I can... I have to do this on all my OBS things unless I create a new scene. Maybe I can create a new scene, then do split. Done this before, but we're going to do it again. And this is only happening on one of my streams. I have no idea which one. We're going to add I think I use display for, fuck. The left one is called display capture. Can I rename the thing? Doesn't look like it. So I need to add display capture, add existing. Okay, boom. But I sort of just was thinking I'd do half of this. Is this, no, that's not right. I think I can switch over all of these to my new, oh no. My new scene doesn't show up in the current streams. Or in the current, the already opened OBS instances. So I have 3 OBSs open, and the new scene I made doesn't show up in the other ones until I restart it, and so I can't. I'd have to restart the stream for this to work. But generally, what I'm doing is I'm I've got this little graphic area space here streaming on my second monitor. So imagine this box you should see here is what's appearing on my monitor, and so I can put the graphics in here, and I can see on my other monitor that it's full screen and no like user interface assistance, like all the blue lines and kind of the overlays and stuff. So that's kind of wild. I've thought about doing that before. I can't really, well, so I can switch the monitors. Go this full screen, and then put the behind the scenes over there. Get rid of that start menu, and right shit here. It's a little too big. Yeah. It's like real-time design. Real-time design. Let's go. We're live. Shouldn't we have a red circle? I don't have a frame on the other side. I'm going to do that real quick. And then you might actually want to just see this one. The one with all the, all the layout guides. So that you can see what I'm doing while I'm editing it. It's kind of boring just to look at the one that doesn't show you. I guess we can make this white again, but now I have a frame. Doesn't really matter, but it makes the layout easier. I think I can make this thing blink, right? Let's see. We're going to bring this over here, turn it into a component, add a variant. And I think just fading it out should work. And then we go prototype interactions. After delay, change to second variant, smart animate. And then this one, after delay, change to the other one, smart animate. I could have probably just, no, dissolve. Would a dissolve work? I think it would. Maybe it's the same thing in this case. All right, so now we get rid of this, and we bring this in here. And then, what if I just make this small? Probably don't need it so big, huh? Could make that a group, suppose. So they move together. Move this over here. This should, in my presentation, no blinky? God damn it. Why not? Let's make this a flow starting point and preview it in here. Now it's blinking. Is the prototype and the presentation two different things? Or does it need to be refreshed or something? Open the prototype, please. Oh no, now it blinks. There we go. Real-time motion graphics in Figma. Pretty basic stuff, but this is the culmination of my life right here, folks. The best thing I've ever done is make this blinky red light. Not, but sort of. Is anyone watching? No. Nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares about anything. Where was it? Where was it? Why did it change? Jesus, Figma. I don't always want split screen though, right? How do I have like... How do I change the page in this thing? I could just use another frame, right? Boom. And then... Well, let's do this. Oh, come on. Double click. Thank you. And this. And then go back to, we're going to throw this on the other monitor. And watch presentation. And actually, I think, why do we have a title bar in here? There we go. Go away. Okay. I think I can get rid of that and use the arrow keys. No! Maybe I have to click once and use the arrow keys. No? I thought the arrow keys worked. Oh, give me a break. N? No? Does it need to be restarted again? I thought these things were live, Figma. Present. Bring it over. Trying to switch between slide 1 and 2. And it ain't working. I thought it did it automatically, but maybe once you use a flow starting point, it overrides. Can I just get rid of the flow starting point? Oh, there it goes. And it does actually update in real time. I thought they did. So the flow starting point ruined my thing, and it still is flashing. So there we go. So what I could do, can we please get out of here? Start menu. Start menu, please leave. Why are you still here? Click and wait. No, does this have to go full screen? There we go. All right. And then left and right and get rid of the mouse. Okay, so to be able to seamlessly switch between two different layouts. Let's see here. This should be in the parent frame. This should be... We don't even need that one, right? Okay. Whoops. Whoops. That was a typo. All right, full screen and split screen. Pretty basic. So I can't just hover over here. I have to click on the presentation in order to then switch which is a little wonky. I'm trying to think if there's a way where I could control it from the other screen. And I think I can. But it's also thinking about I can put buttons on here. Like, I can make a, but this is auto layout, fill, let's make it dark, make this light, make the padding bigger, around the corners a little bit, scale it down, switch, and put this over here, and over here. They're actually going to be two different buttons, sort of. Show you what I'm doing here. I'm going to click on this, on click, we change to frame 2. Ooh, let's maybe a dissolve is the safest way to do this. And then this one, interactions, on click, navigate to frame 1 is obviously a pain in the ass and not something I want to spend a lot of time doing unless it's worthwhile. But now we can switch. I can line those up so that the switch button doesn't move. But that's kind of interesting. So I could create a little control panel with buttons. They even have like the little hover cursor there, which is kind of nice. And I'm live streaming to 3 different social networks with collectively 0 views. So that's kind of fucking wild. It's like, Jesus Christ, people. All right, so how do I make some graphics that I can use and throw in here? This has been way too much setup to have to do that again. And so I need to create a system where I can create new graphics and display them kind of when and where I want. But there's a lot of different sources of control. Like I can do it from OBS. Oh, why is this one on the wrong screen? Sorry, folks. Where are we streaming to on this one? Twitch? Sorry, Twitch. We're on the wrong screen. No, not that one. There we go. You guys have been looking at my friend on the other screen over there. That's a pretty cool image, though, if you've never seen that. It's almost looks AI generated, but it's kind of wild. I saw that well before the AI burst onto the scene. I'm cold. I'm gonna go get a hoodie. I'll be right back. Let me create a little graphic here first. Does that show up? No, everybody's looking at there. Oh, I got switch. There we go. All right. I am back. I think you guys can see my camera on these streams. I should put my OBSs on the other screen. Can we do triple split? And I feel like how do you get that other? There we go. All right. I'm gonna do this over here. So in Windows, I've been using the Windows key, and the Windows key plus the left arrow will send the currently focused window to the left side of the screen, or you use the right. Boom, 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 boom. That's pretty cool. But then I have 3 OBSs open right now. Oh yeah, and it'll ask you for what you want to put on the other side, so it'll do a pretty quick split screen. That's pretty badass Windows, not gonna lie. But I need 3, so if we start to drag this window, we see that little bar up there towards the top. We hover over it, we get a lot of stuff jumping around. But that's the one. That's the one. Hey, come on now. Oh, fuck. OBS can't go down small enough. All right. I'm doing this on my other screen. You guys don't need to see all this picture and picture and picture. So we put all 3 on the other screen. And it's a badass graphic. Only one of... I forget that only one of my streams can have my webcam, because actually, all right, so if I use another OBS, if I open up a 4th OBS, I can publish a virtual camera to basically loop this camera back into the system as like another input, and then maybe another OBS can consume it. But can there only be one final consumer of the video? I think I need something that's more like a switch or a splitter or something that can duplicate or repeat the webcam. So let me get all of my control panels over on the other side. I'll try going 1/3 with these. And this Twitter one. No viewers. And so I can click back here for that one. This is kind of confusing, I'm not gonna lie, people. Too bad you can't go full screen with these little thirds thingies to get rid of the Chrome buttons. Too many Chrome buttons on the Chrome thingy. Anyway. Where's the Twitter, Twitch, and the YouTube? There it is. Yeah, that's just not gonna work. Let me take a screenshot. And I will try to put it right in the fucking thing here. And I can switch back to this one. That is the screenshot of my other monitor with Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter all on the screen, so that I can remind myself that I have 0 viewers across 3 different platforms. I was just thinking, Why didn't that work? Oh, this is Figma. Huh. Okay. I confused myself. This isn't a real button. This is... This isn't my start menu. It's a fake start menu. How do I get out of here? Maybe we'll just minimize. Okay, so we're in Figma. We can get rid of that. And yeah, the button for navigation I think is too much, but I should be able to just use left and right arrows. I'm just trying to get people's attention here. What the fuck? Let me just try and figure this out. Whoa. Ah. I think I know what's going on here. There we go. Did I make these caps? I must have. Ooh, you know what? Good idea. Come on, laggy Figma. We have one of these. Oh, fuck. Which page was it? Okay. One of these. Which page was it? Why is this called page 2? Big numbers. Just some big fucking numbers right here, folks. Who wants to talk about these numbers? Is there anyone on this planet who has a brain who wants to talk about big numbers? Fuck. YouTube? No YouTube. No YouTube logo. I'll do this. No, we're gonna keep this open over here. Fuck it. How do I get tab here? Okay. Whoa. YouTube logo. Images. Tools. Color. Transparent. One of these will do. Copy. Figma. Ew. That one. And that one. Whoa, where is it? Okay. Okay. Is this a group? Why did I use a group? Let's use an auto layout and make it kind of match. That's pretty close, YouTube. Why are we so close? All right, and what else? Twitter, fucking X, god damn it. I guess I'll use the X. But it is Twitter, right? Tools, color, transparent. I guess we'll use this one. Copy. Figma. Here. Boom. Smaller. Smaller still. Why aren't these... Oh, fucking hell. I lined up the text and the logo, but now we have a problem here. Watch this. Where did my text go? Is that in the group? We need to remove this from the group like that. Fucking Twitter. It's Twitter. If it's not Twitter, make it a different fucking URL or something. Let me make this smaller. Alright. That's kind of bold. Kind of bold, Twitter. Alright, you know what? YouTube, you're too close to your logo there. Whatever. Fuck it. So, this is gonna get fucked up because I haven't grouped these. And I haven't grouped these, but I don't know if I group these first or if I group them with their zeros first. Does anybody know the answers to these questions? Is that a little too big? It's big on purpose, people. But maybe I make these like little pills or something and make them into their own boxes. Fill. Can't go dark. I could do like a little light gray background with white background and add some padding. Obviously gonna scale these down, but do that in a minute. Oh, we can't go negative padding, and this YouTube is so... Or is it that 0 that's so tall? You fucking jerks. We can't make it smaller. I guess we can just force it smaller. And then we need some more of this, and maybe some of this. And that is pretty big. And I guess it doesn't have to be bigger than it needs to. It doesn't even have to be bold, does it? Alright. Alright, one of these. And this is going to be painful, but we're going for it. No, what happened? There. Why is this so off? Yeah, I guess we'll go with it. And another one. I need to make this darker so I can see shit. This is gonna go there, there. And we take all of these and scale them together. And we'll maybe put them here. And group them. And put them over here. All right. Hey, a viewer. Yeah. Jackson has arrived. What's up, buddy? There are 2 viewers. But it always says 1 because, like, maybe when I have this dashboard open, it's the first. I don't know. But, yeah, I could just use stream elements or something. I just don't feel like trying to figure out how it works. I like being able to mess with it in Figma. These won't update live, obviously, because Figma doesn't have my data streams. So yes, there's an inherent problem in here, but let me show you what I got going on. I got 3 OBSs running. And I'm streaming to all 3 at the same time. There's no time code on your comments. I'm not sure if you were just here or if you already left. It does say you're still here. I've won. I have won on the Twitch. Yes. Fuck. Let me just check on my other ones to see. I don't think the other ones, like the other Twitch or Twitter rather, will show me like the number of views. I think it has something for like concurrent viewers or something. But yeah, maximum concurrent viewers. But it doesn't really tell me how many are watching it right now, so I have no idea. And dude, Blender is cool. I'd like to do more 3D stuff. You can see I have it on my start menu here. I've actually made some cool stuff in Blender. I'm kind of interested in Blender animation because I've seen some people do some pretty cool stuff with Blender. I mean, Blender in general is like, it's a semi-professional app. Like it is, I mean, I think professionals do use it and make money with it. It's just kind of slow and awkward in a lot of ways. And it takes so long to learn. And it's like just full of all of these secret hotkeys and secret menus. I mean, there's like 500 different menus in Blender. And if you don't know where to look, you're going to just waste a bunch of time. But obviously Blender is a badass program. I love spinning around in 3D and using like the array modifier to like multiply an object, you know, just feeling the powerful effects of the program. Computer aided design, if you will. League of Legends show on Netflix is all made in Blender. That is wild. Wait, careful. Jackson Riley. Cool. He's got a good website. He's a professional designer. I know I've watched Blender for like 20 years and I keep downloading it like kind of once a year, trying it out, taking it for a test drive, and yeah, but like, okay, so what I can't figure out in Blender is all the different animation windows. You have like, there's a timeline window, there's the dope sheet, and like the NLA, like action editor, and the way that all of that works is just so confusing to me, and I've tried a couple times to figure it out, and I kind of get it. I've used After Effects for keyframe animation, you know, back in high school 20 years ago. So it's like I have the mind to try and understand it. It's just for whatever reason, it's very elusive and way too complicated, it seems. I feel like most animations should just be a frickin' rectangle that you drag to make longer or shorter. And yeah. Well, yeah, and then in Blender, one of the things that was crazy is that you have to choose the properties that you want to keyframe before you can create the keyframe. And so then you'd have to choose, like, do you want location, rotation, and scale, or just one of them? And then I couldn't really make up in my mind, like, when do you want to just automatically throw a keyframe on, like, position when you might not need to. Like, if you're only keyframing one kind of axis, then you don't really need to keyframe the other one, because then if you ever try and move your whole animation in 3D space, you're kind of locked into the other axes because you've just keyframed them all. And so instead of being able to, like, move this thing around, unless you, like, parent it or something. Like, I think parenting, grouping and parenting in Blender is another thing that's just, like, it's so frustrating. From program to program, every program treats groups or collections or whatever differently, and it's just, the complexity makes my head hurt. And there's trade-offs to that. It's like it's not a good system, and so I just have to throw in the towel and be like, this is not gonna work for me. I can't spend more time trying to learn this broken system. I think that making all the software, um, yeah, well, and there's other ones too, other than Blender. There's like Maya and 3D Studio Max and probably a lot of other ones. Well, I guess that's your opinion. I mean, if you can make it work, great. It's not that I couldn't make it work. I just always have to, I'm always playing the trade-off of like, how much time am I going to spend to learn something and can I make it work? And I haven't focused on one thing in life to work on. I tried development for a while. I tried design for a while. Tried to get into video. I used to do video a long time ago. Tried to get into motion graphics. And frankly, the like overlap between them, like motion graphics on the web is like design, development, motion, all the things. And yeah, well, if you try and master everything, kind of impossible. The jack of all trades problem. But I can't really pick what I can focus on. I can just Hey, can I show you something real quick? Let me pull up Twitter. And I watched the craziest podcast from Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan. Tucker Carlson was on Joe Rogan's podcast. If you're not aware of either of those guys, I would highly recommend listening to them. I don't agree with everything they say, but it's pretty wild. Weren't you talking about Elon Musk? I feel like I don't know if it was you, but I feel like you were talking about Elon Musk and something about how he ruined Twitter. And this is an interesting post here that some Australian senator has called for the imprisonment of Elon Musk because he advocates for free speech. And I'm sure they would read it or like reword it as, he allows hate speech or whatever. But, I mean, man, anyway, that's not what I wanted to show you. I just feel like you had said something about Elon the other day, and that was also something that popped up. Here, let me show you this post that I made here. I was like live streaming for a second and then turned it off and just started recording this to myself. And the caption here is true, but not completely related. But here, I'll play this thing. You can find it on my Twitter. What if life were fake? Let me turn off my fan or mute. Can I mute my I'll just turn off my fans. I'm trying to be quiet. The audios are way too quiet. I'm not really sure. I'm not actually sure if is all my audio that quiet. Maybe I need to sit closer to my mic or boost the microphone volume because it does look pretty quiet. Like negative 20 decibels on here. Anyway, I'm going to turn off this fan and I can't really jack up the volume. What if life were fake? Like, I don't know, all this alien bullshit and all the software is just an illusion of the system, and I don't think that boosts it. Definitely don't trust it. I could imagine that there are a lot of different things going on in terms of the reality of nature, of spirituality, and what are spirits? What are we? Where are we really living? Or like, is this real life? That's the question. And or is it a matrix, or a video game, or a simulator, or a physical extension of the spiritual reality? Is real life spiritual? I think most people kind of have that sense. I mean, it's like What's behind your eyeballs? Probably some spiritual energy. And it's like our brain energy. There's obviously all the circuitry of the brain and the eyeballs and the optic nerve and the nervous system. And do we know how that works? It seems like there's a lot of smart people, but we still have very little idea how the brain and body and spirit and all of these things work. Like the DNA sequencing, the Human Genome Project has come a long way, but I still don't think we really understand the code. It's like DNA controls proteins, but is that the full story? I mean, DNA is pretty crazy. DNA is pretty fucking crazy. Like at the microscopic, nanoscopic, I mean, like how small is DNA? I don't even know. Can you see it with a microscope? I never have. But how does that code work? It's a pretty deep question. Maybe one that we should put the entire world collectively towards trying to figure out, so that if we get another COVID 9000, maybe way worse, we're not wiped off the face of the planet. Maybe we should do that instead of building nuclear weapons. Just saying. Like, how is there so many smart people on the planet and yet we're on the brink of World War III, like total global annihilation, nuclear war, and nobody is saying anything? Like, nobody, well, there's people saying stuff, but nobody cares. That's the problem. How come nobody cares? Everybody wants to like play video games, watch sports, jerk off to porn, like drink beer, smoke weed. It's fucking crazy, man. I'm gonna boost this one. I was thinking about boosting it. I've been boosting posts on Twitter trying to get like, it's a little rough now that I watch it back. It's like, I think there's some pretty crazy things in there that most people like. These are the things that just blow my mind, and I wish there were more people kind of being like, "Hey, there's some crazy shit." I mean, my live stream right now is aliens and World War III. I mean, I know. I feel like we're on the brink of complete, like I said, complete annihilation, and we could wake up. We could not wake up tomorrow, like globally as a planet. Like overnight, somebody launches the first nuke, and all of a sudden they all just go off, and it's game over for everyone. I guess we've sort of, as a species, been living that way for forever. Um, nuclear war has been possible and a looming threat since it was invented. So maybe we're all just numb to it. But everyone's threatening nukes, like Israel and Iran and Russia, and I mean North Korea is trying to get nukes, and like we're just like fueling the fire. And the Middle East like hates the West, and if they get their hands on nukes, it's like, it's fucking stupid, man. I often spend way too much time thinking about these big picture questions. Yeah, I don't trust that there's anyone with any amount of competence doing anything about it. Like, in fact, well, the only people speaking out are guys like Elon and Tucker and Joe Rogan. And if you listen to what they have to say, it's fucking scary, man. It's so bad. It's really like terrifying. We've been warned, like the warnings are clear as day, and nobody can do anything about it. And the people in charge seem to be like stoking the fire and almost want it to happen. I haven't heard of that. I don't even know my blood type. Probably should. Um, yeah. Well, I gotta learn how to make some money, and then I can do something about it. I gotta figure out. I think if I could produce like live streaming content that was worthwhile, I could make money doing it. And if I taught other people how to do it, like every company in the world could have its own like video production system, like where the CEO can record stuff and talk to their company. I think a lot of companies do that stuff. It's just very expensive, and then the purpose and the presentation and delivery and whatnot, like making it useful, is the hard part. You can often spend a lot of money, and then it's like, yeah, people watch the little like company profiles or whatever. They're marginally helpful, but they're not really all that useful. And so a lot of companies, well, it's not such a useful thing to buy. There's not such a market for it if it doesn't get something done. But if it's your CEO being like, all right, doing like a pep talk, like, all right, folks, we got some business to do here. Let's get to work. Need any help? Raise your hand. Let's go. Yeah, live stream. I think there's a lot of, well, I mean, just there's a ton of potential for live streaming just to get the attention of like the average person, right? I don't know why it's so fucking hard to get any viewers. I got funny shit to say, right? I don't know if I need better graphics. I don't know if I need to boost my shit more. I don't know. But I probably should keep my graphics up. No, not that one. There we go. Gotta learn how to do the good graphics. Gotta figure out how to get my camera on all of the streams. It's only on the Twitch stream. So this is the Twitch stream. And this is a different stream. And where's the other one? It's really kind of seizure inducing. Oh, there's 3 of them. Only one of them has my picture. If I put up the right graphic, so there are people who occasionally click through these things, and I need to grab their attention about don't fucking leave. That'll work, right? You should come stream with me, Jackson. We will create an empire. There's a Twitch feature to stream together. I'm not 100% sure how it works. We could try it if you want. I was trying to get somebody to test it with me. Let's see. We'll pull it up here. Something about, oh, right here, stream together. It gets really fucking confusing. I get so confused with these things. It's like, I don't like to understand something partially. I have to like fully understand it. And there's this guest star URL where you can set up your browser sources. I kind of think I get that now. I just need to see the whole thing in action. I'm not sure where everything pops up. It's something like you connect, like the guests connect to this page, and then you can import all of the cameras from everyone into OBS. I think that's what the browser sources do. It allows you to stream together. But like, if I wanted to grow on any of these platforms and I can invite other streamers to join my stream, especially other streamers who have people, um, what do you mean? It's very expensive to use OBS to multicast. Wait, what? It costs Twitch 14,000 an hour to host a stream with over 1,000 viewers. I find that hard to believe. I don't have to pay money for streaming. Bandwidth isn't that expensive, right? Hit the invite. Let's play with it. Fuck yeah, dude. Well, I think, just for the record, I think it's turned on, right? If you go to my stream, I asked this chick. She actually responded to me. I was like, hey, let's stream together. I want to test it. And she's basically like, no. And I was like, come on, like, you know, YOLO, let's just do it for a minute. And she said no again. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, channel. A bunch of people said no to me. All right, so Twitch. I don't think they have to pay that much for bandwidth. Like, certainly broadcasting to a lot of viewers takes, they probably need like super internet connections. Yeah, so they have to run the server, like the cloud, the data centers or whatever. But I mean, well, Twitch is owned by Amazon, and Amazon has AWS, and AWS is, like, I'm not an expert at it by any means. They have like the hundreds of these little microservices, but they're all pretty cheap. Like no, I actually don't know when you're doing HD video. Could it rack up to that kind of a fee? I don't think so, though. Well, because like S3, which I think is, I don't know, one of the storage things they have, is like super cheap. You can store, I've looked at like the per gigabyte cost, and you can get it down to pennies to store gigabytes. And, well, you have to pay like for the transfer. So I guess if you're doing like 1,000 people and you're transferring a gigabyte per minute, no, it'd be probably per hour. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's expensive to stream video. I haven't studied these numbers, so. Sorry, I was gonna do this stream together. Yeah, right here, streaming together. I thought I had. Well, let me go and look at the thing here. Stream together. I was already here. I can invite you, but here, request. You got to turn it on every time. You have to be phone verified. And yeah. And then there's a whole bunch of settings. Who can request? Anyone. Yes. I wanted to allow audio only guests, so if like people don't want to stream a screen or a camera, but it makes it limits it to audio only for like everyone. So you can't use your video, which seems like a stupid limitation. But anyway, start requests. This might be easier than me trying to look you up in the system or copy and paste your username, which may or may not work. Performance issues detected. Yeah, fuck off. So there should be a request button on. You might have to refresh the page. Requests are on. Join the stream. Like at the top of the stream chat, I'm seeing this request button. And then it should somewhere. There we go. Plus. What? Where'd you go? Oh, in queue. Waiting for guests to connect. Cool. Not sure what's going to happen. This is going to be wild. Ooh, I got two views on YouTube, but I don't know if that's a concurrent or if there's somebody currently watching. Only 8 seconds, I believe, of view time. Oh, concurrent viewers. I think that's the current viewers. 0 still. Guests not joining, but you guys can access the stream together. What? Invited guests can access the stream together session via your browser URL. Copy the link and share it with your invited guests. Okay, so I guess I can just copy the link. But where's the chat? You're probably chatting at me. Oh, you have to switch browsers. Jeez, I'm fucking retarded. Okay. I'm a slow reader. My brain just works slow in general. Where did that thing go? This one. No, what was this? What did I have? Yes, this one. Okay. So many windows. Waiting for Jackson Riley to join. Jackson Riley getting ready. Oh, I'm not going to be able to use my camera because OBS has already got it. Oh, what should I do with my life? I do kind of think having a... Is it working? Oh, okay. Yeah, who knows? If it's a browser thing or... Yeah, yeah, it's in beta, so I'm not sure if somebody, maybe that other chick was saying something about only some people have access to it, but I would assume it would allow anyone to join. I mean, I can copy the link. Is it this one? Where's the link? Do I just post this thing? Maybe it's just this thing. Wish I'd copied the link before so I knew which link to share, but I believe it's this thing here. Yeah, I thought that was likely part of the problem, is that they're not interested in sharing. Everybody's going to be greedy. But if I started to grow and those people could benefit also, like we could share customers instead of stealing customers, I think I could I think I could make it worth people's while. Like, let's say right now I don't have any viewers, but let's say I got 1,000 viewers and I could repay somebody who has 1,000 viewers, kind of like a shout for shout kind of a thing, is what I've thought in the past. Thought about doing it for like social media, like tweet for tweet or whatever. If you boost me to your X number of followers, then kind of if and when I get to that number of followers, then I will reciprocate. And obviously it's a trust-based system and you could screw people over, and you know, it'd be most likely to work if you find somebody with a similar number of viewers. So right now I'd be looking at people with none, but it would potentially work, I think. Well, because you could get like little like cliques of people where, um, you know, I don't know how many people you can stream together on here, but number one, you can interact with the audience. So if you have people in the audience who want to speak, sort of, it's like raising your hand, right? That's what the little picture shows here. And if you get people to contribute, it's sort of like what I was doing on other people's streams. Like, hey, I want to talk. Let me say something. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who would love to use that feature. And if they came to your channel and were able to get on TV, sort of a thing, and say something cool, be like, wow, that was fun. Let's do that again. I think it'd be a great way to interact with the community. I think I could grow my channel and other people could grow their channels similarly with features like that. So I think see it as a pretty cool thing. I just get discouraged when it doesn't work, for example. And I'm honestly just so surprised by how tricky all of this streaming software is and how advanced it is. It's like, I know how hard it is to make a simple web app that's, just a simple website, just static content, and then making web apps like all these studios and web streaming and all the web codecs, or like video codecs rather, and streaming software. It's all just crazy. And obviously they have, tremendous budgets in legions of the best software developers in the world. But still, it's kind of surprising, number one, how advanced it is, but also how bad it is. Like, well, I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just some of the basic things are missing, it seems, in a lot of the software. I kind of think all of this advanced software and shit comes from the aliens that brought us here to planet Earth, which are basically the angels and demons, or our ancestors, or our spirit system, however that exists, the real life. And they're kind of re-importing previous technology. So, like, the internet this isn't the first time our spiritual civilization has come to this point in, civilization, I guess, like the technological development. I don't know if it'd be a different planet or just this planet like a long time ago or whatever, but it just seems to me like very likely that we're going back to the future and that all the software is, maybe they're re-importing it and it's all kind of it sounds wild, but I wonder if there's some fishy business going on, because I just see a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense when it comes to, well, technology stagnates, and then it goes in bursts, and it doesn't make any sense. I don't know if you're still listening. It says you're still there, right? Damn, man, I wish you could show me what you're working on. You could join my Discord server if you want. Let me go grab a link to it. Yeah. I don't know. Chrome sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes Firefox works, at least for a game I was dealing with the other day. As a web developer, I've experienced a lot of different browsers and their technological capabilities and bugs and kind of browser compatibilities of different APIs and stuff. It's like a huge moving target and nobody knows. It's really hard to decipher what's going on, whether it's, yeah, let's go on Twitch. Fuck yeah, dude. I didn't know you were a streamer. Where do I click? I think it's this one. Haha, Blender can. Yeah, there's so many ads. Turn on some sound. Can I hear you? Talk to me. Turn on some sound. Can I hear you? Talk to me. You got mic? I can hear myself
What
on
up?
your stream.
Let's see if that's working. You're gonna hear yourself possibly.
I do hear myself. I hear you though. I can hear myself on your stream. I think there's a lag.
Yep, that's working.
I do hear myself. I hear you though. I'm trying to figure out how long the lag is, but it seems substantial.
I'm gonna just turn that off. My mic though.
Okay, no problem.
Put you on my phone.
Show me something in Blender. You're using the compositor.
This is what I'm doing for the day. I'm messing around with Blender. Trying to make a can. Yesterday, I did this scene. Don't save that. One second. Alright. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I worked on for the day.
Did you animate it? I don't know if you can still hear me.
Nah. It's too heavy on my GPU to animate.
It's cool though. 3D is like I like graphic design, right? And then going from graphic design to motion graphics is like it's like a crazy step because it's a whole nother dimension. And then when it's similar going from 2D to 3D. It's like, okay, now there's a lot of stuff possible that IHOP, huh? Are you sponsored by IHOP? There's a little banner ad. I haven't seen a banner ad like that on Twitch before. I like IHOP. There's an IHOP down the street. Portland.
Those are the ads they add in when you become an affiliate.
Oh, okay. How many subscribers do you have? Oh, I gotta follow you. Let's go. Subscribe. Alright. I pay money for that. Oh, baby! Nice! That's cool. Let's go. Posture check.
I'm trying to get all those things set up. This is one of my more proud Blender scenes I've worked on.
I don't know what I'm looking at. Where these, got like a stress toy that's some sort of Cyclops. It looks like one of those foam squish guys.
That's Frank.
Okay. Ah, what's up? I see you. I don't hear word. I see your mouth moving, but I don't hear the words.
I muted my mic again.
There you go. What's up?
There we go.
Did you use pre-built assets, or did you model all of that shit from scratch?
There we go. And then...
Did you use pre-built assets, or did you model all of that shit from scratch?
The only thing that's pre-built is the desk with the paper. Everything else is hand-built.
Damn. How'd you do that mesh thing?
That's pre-built. Yeah. So the desk, the paper holder, and the papers, that's all pre-built. But the cards
Okay.
and all that stuff, that's all hand built.
That's cool. Have you? Are you a gamer? You play video games?
Oh yeah, I got a PlayStation that I play on.
You ever thought about making a video game?
Outside of my wheelhouse, I more care about making things like this.
That 3D printed? Man, the lag. It's like 20 seconds or so. This is rough.
Yeah, resin 3D printed. I wanted to
It was so smooth. Did you sand it down?
make a whole series of art toys. Nope, that's just how they come out as from a resin printer.
Hmm. Do you have a Discord server?
Yeah, I designed a whole little series and made packaging and
Oh shit.
all that stuff.
Does that say the fuck boy?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
that's the fuck boy.
Did you sell them? I mean, like,
cards.
how did it go?
Where did I put the packaging? Shit. No, that's my senior thesis from when I was in school. There they are.
Okay. That's pretty cool though. That's like, well, it's impressive. It's nice.
What's cool is that the packaging is laser cut acrylic sheets.
Huh. Okay, I see. You built the box for it.
So the idea is that you would actually be able to like connect all of the boxes together to make a mural on your wall.
Okay, like a puzzle. Like, are the characters from something, or did you like? Seems like there's
Yeah.
little bios
The whole
or
idea of
something.
making zero waste packaging. Sorry, what was that? What about?
I was just, I was wondering if there's a story behind the characters. I should just use the chat. I'm just gonna type.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah. So these guys are the Portland or the people. Yeah, they're the characters of Portland. So the whole concept was keep Portland W dot 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 dot. I found that Portland's motto, keep Portland weird, is the same amount of letters for saying keep Portland white. But yeah, stay in chat. I'll be able to respond to that a bit better. And then I'll have my headphones on. But yeah, so it's a little bit of a satirical commentary on the people of Portland. So these are all characters I developed. So Portland stole the slogan from Austin, Texas. The artist who erected it in Portland directly copied it from Keep Austin Weird. And then Portland decided to appropriate the slogan and make it our own. And it's supposed to highlight the uniqueness and diversity within our communities, which is 97% white people who are affluent. So, really, it's a slogan just for affluent white people, no one else. These are the people of Portland. You've got the basic bitches, you got the fuck boys, the tech bros, the pigs, and the crooks. The crook is our current mayor. He got paid $2 million by Columbia Sportswear to make homeless people illegal in downtown Portland. We got the pigs, who are the Portland police, the Popo. They're directly bought out by Nike and big money to only defend corporations and not its actual people. We've got the tech bros, who, they hate the government, but they pay capitalism really well. They think NFTs are the future. And, they think the world's problems would be solved just by coding. And then you've got the basic bitches who love their daily Starbucks and wonder if you saw their story on IG and it says some dumb shit, just like, I won't go past 82nd, which is literally the halfway point of Portland. The project I'm really in love with, though, is this guy. It's Frank. So this is how I've been printing Frank. This is the Resin 3D printer.
Damn.
Make characters. Got this little guy. Pretty dope. Love Frank.
It's pretty cool. I don't know if you can hear me. It's pretty cool.
So yeah. I'm gonna work on making a can. Bonfire. Hey Tasha, welcome. The day's going well. Just playing around in Blender. But yeah, I figured all that out whilst I was in school. I used my senior thesis as an excuse to deep dive into all that stuff. Let's add that can back in. Where did those cans go? Oh man, I've lost the can I used. Damn. There they are. We're gonna just cancel. Load that in. Scale that up. Go to this view. Control A. Add a camera. Go here. Push that camera back. Go to camera view. Go to here. We will push that camera in just a bit. Bring it up. Come to camera settings. We're gonna pull that into about an 80 millimeter, 85. Let's do an 85 millimeter. And then we will add a light. And then that over here. Point that off to the side. Scale that bitch up. And make power. Oh, what's the top bar with all the images? It is called Blend Kit. So Blend Kit is a plugin that allows you to access free assets just to have better starting points. So instead of spending the time to build out 2 cans, just since it's a standard shape, might as well just use an asset for it and then go from there. Make that 10,000, 1,000. See how that looks. Cool. Rotate this guy. Nope. Rotate. Is it X? Be on the X? No. Z? Yeah, Z axis. Put that there. Put that there. Then we'll go Control A, add another light. Sun, woo! Move that way, pointing that way. There we go. Get some backlighting. Cool, cool. I've heard of it. Oh, nice. I've been trying to put together a little playlist of Blender tutorials. We'll officially be diving into this weekend. Nice. I highly recommend the donut tutorial. Is it free? Free asset libraries or something? Separate from quality and quantity. Whoa, how did you get that image on there? So the nice thing about, yes, there are shitty assets in BlendKit when you use the free account. You suss those out pretty quickly. And then you can also play for the premium account, which will unlock all of these type of assets, which have that little lock symbol so I can't touch them. But yeah, so the images are on there. So right now I'm in render view. If I go into just normal view, no images. But in render view, got some images. And then if we go to the shade editor, click on the can, that's how the images are brought on. And so what we could do is pull in a new window. No, that's not what I wanted. Object, 3D viewpoint, and then go back to camera view, and then we will split vertically right there, make this the image editor, bring down that, go to here, bring that up a bit, zoom that out. So that's your image. Ew, looks tricky. I love this shit though. I'm having fun. But Tasha, yeah, I highly recommend going to YouTube and or just watching all the Blender tutorials they have on there. Personally, I looked up specific techniques I wanted to learn and then kind of expanded from there. So what I want to do is make a new image. No, actually what I want to do is image. No, that's not it. No, that's to reload it. Screw it. This is what I'll do for the time being. Cheap trick. Screen cap it to get the dimensions. Throw it into Illustrator. Throw that into Illustrator. Where did it go? Why didn't that load into Illustrator? Grab a screen cap. Go over to Illustrator. Throw the screen cap into there it is. I just didn't see it. Throw that into Illustrator, then grab the dims. Whee! Boom. We can just do that. We can then save that. I can go to Photoshop. I know I'm jumping between apps, which is not what you like to do. But we go to New, Clipboard, times 2. Whoops. So, okay, whatever. Create that clipboard, image size, resolution will change to 300. Now we've got a high definition file. Then let's say I wanted to make we wanted to make this into a can. We are going to grab actually everything but the background color. Go on Photoshop. Put that off to the side right there. Come in, add a solid color. Make that a part of the background. Change the colors. Let's go back to that. Oh, I kind of like this. Okay. I'm in your Discord, by the way. Could work for voice chat, that is true. You should tell me about your stream setup when you get a second. Spotify, stream on phones. All right, yeah. 1 second, for sure. Let me just get this connected. So we're gonna put that in posters, new file, cam decal, 420 blaze it. Doesn't matter. And then we come to here. Okay, 201. That's the one. And then what we'll do is that's not what I want. That's not what I want either. Nope, that's fuck. Why is this? What am I missing? Why can't I? There's the button I fucking wanted. There it is. Posters, candy cal, blaze it. Yep. All right. And then
This is Ari, Gwendolyn, and Brynnifer. They are in a polyamorous relationship, and they all parent Hazel.
let's see if that actually changed anything. Rotate. There's the 420 blaze it guy. Okay, so it's wrapping weird. That's not a good sign. Okay, I think I fucked up. I kind of want to turn that back to that. Yeah, we're going to keep that. Yeah, I'll switch over to showing you my setup real fast. So I just use Spotify for music, for sure. And
I don't know if you still got me up.
OBS
I don't know if
over.
you can hear me. On Spotify, do you like
This
break
is what
out
my
your?
OBS looks like.
Do you break out your Spotify audio into a separate channel?
There we go. So yeah, we use OBS. We've got overlays. So it's like, that's just a co-work overlay, chat, mics, video. Just turn that on and off so it says no cam or cam. And then, yeah. It's like the colors. I don't even know what that is anymore. Whatever. But yeah, that one's the asset. No, that's the overlay. So yeah, that's the overlay. Yeah. Then this is for this little plugin right here. That is a browser source. So yeah, and then the weather app is also a browser source. These are just free browser overlays that allow you to, you have to log into your Spotify so it can, you know, see what track is playing, and then you just have to tell them your current location or wherever you want the weather to be of for the weather app. I enjoy having it. I think it's funny. All of this is in OBS. None of this are Stream Elements. Stream Elements is just OBS loaded with a bunch of bloatware. yeah. And then I got other zines. So like if I'm on Zoom, I'm gonna switch to this one. Got a starting screen. This is an animated 3D thing of when I'm gaming, and yeah. And then the OBS. So the Spotify widget is a web browser widget. So if you just Google OBS Spotify overlay, it's one of the first ones on Google that pops up. And then you just log into Spotify and you download the source code or browser code and put it up as a browser source.
The plugin?
It's missing.
Let me read up on this for a second. Web app. Discord.
Transform. Screen. There we go.
Widget app. Your free stream widget.
And the background.
Sure, why not?
Probably could turn up the audio a bit. Okay, and now what I
already
want to do
did.
is actually go control back to this, delete that. It's no, don't keep that. Goes this.
Holy shit.
Just, you know what? I'm just gonna add a new.
Hey, yo, girl, you wanna come to a party at my house tonight?
That is pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie.
Nope, that's the wrong file. 2004 can decals 420 blazer.
Where's the link?
Nope, that's
Saved.
420 blaze it has got some weird effects on it. Okay. Mix shader. Okay.
Copy link.
Oh. No. Flat.
So let's just try it here. I think it's one of these. Spotify.
There you go. Well, I got that up on the can now. That's cool.
Where do you go?
Okay. Add some dimension to that. So now if I actually that one, and then we're gonna go back to Photoshop. Save this.
Oh, what's the width?
Shift R.
I think it can be anything. Is it
Oh,
responsive?
no. Okay. Well, got the color there. Yeah.
Not so responsive. Probably make it responsive.
We're
but
getting there. I'm having a good day so far. Hope you're having a good day, buddy.
what is the width here?
So if we rotate the back to that, we go to here. Photoshop, grab this guy, move him over, save that bitch. Reload this bitch. Boom! A happy 420! Little can! And then we're gonna just save this scene. Soda cans. Soda can.
Boom.
And then we're gonna. There you go. You got a little Spotify browser going right there.
Yes, sir.
Go back to that. No, wait, nope. I wanna still be here. We are going to switch to cycles. We're going to grab the area light. This little line, if I can. Oh, did it delete? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Well, yeah, and then I'm gonna just add the sun a little bit warmer. There we go, make that a bit stronger. Let's add it over here instead. Oh, god damn it. Where the fuck did that little ball go? Concentrate. So let's do that. Bring this down. So just realized that my Blender windows are completely out of sight. So you guys can't see shit that's going on. There we go. There we go. Looking at the Discord.
Yo. I'm not sure. Hold on, let me check my mic settings.
What's up?
I think I should be using the right mic.
Turn up volumes.
I can't.
Quickly just
Well, I could mute my mic on the stream.
drop the music down.
I can't.
Oh, okay.
I could mute my mic on the stream. I should probably mute your stream. But then you'd have to talk to me through Discord. If I don't mute your stream, then I hear myself.
Can you
If I
hear
don't
me
mute
through
your
Discord?
stream, then... Which I guess I could do, but it's kind of weird. Hear myself. It's hard to talk when you hear yourself talking. Which I guess I could do, but it's kind of weird.
I mean,
It's hard to talk when you hear yourself talking.
yeah.
But if I mute
Yeah,
your
no,
stream, I
you'll-
can't hear
you're
you
gonna
talk
pop up, yeah.
unless you put on like Discord. But if I mute your stream, I can't hear you talk or set up
Oh,
your mic.
that's a
or whatever.
problem.
Unless you put on like Discord
It should be.
or set up your mic. You're not broadcasting in Discord. I don't know if you can change your Discord setting or something. Do you have push to talk set up?
There we go. Does that work?
Yep. Loud and clear.
All right. I just had to set up my mic.
Now we can talk like real people without 20-second delay. That was kind of frustrating.
20-second delay can definitely be a little frustrating.
That's pretty badass though. I like the The image in your Discord does a better job of showing that Earth Day thing. That's pretty sweet.
Thank you. Yeah. And then
Use Midjourney.
yes, I do.
I see it in your Discord. Nice.
I've been trying to play with all of the AI tools I can. It's just advantageous of a designer to do that nowadays.
Well, there's a lot of them. I gotta remember to push my button to talk. There's a lot of them. A lot of AIs nowadays.
Yep.
The Midjourney, the Chat GPT, which is basically Dolly 2, or whatever the heck it is now, has like
It's like on Dolly 4.
okay.
Dolly is just the image generation service by OpenAI. OpenAI does ChatGPT and all that stuff.
Yeah, I have ChatGPT, a membership for ChatGPT. I've been using it for a year or whatever. And the Dolly, well, the image, I just asked ChatGPT to generate me images, and it does it like
Yeah,
it
they
probably does the
baked
prompt.
Dolly into ChatGPT. That's
Yeah.
how they've done that.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with Dolly at first when it was like a separate program.
Oh, I hated it.
It was much worse than Midjourney. But Midjourney still makes mistakes. They make like, especially when it comes to like creature forms and like arms and limbs being all fucked up.
Yeah.
It's not perfect, but it's pretty badass. It makes some. It's like it blows my mind how it actually works. Like how it's so accurate and precise and like photogenic. Like it just knows how to do shit that could take artists years to learn.
Yeah. I mean, it really sparks the conversation of, do artists get recognized as artists for their technical skills or for their creative thinking skills? And there's a whole slew of people who believe that if you're somebody who can draw photorealism, doesn't mean you're an artist, because what you've done is actually just replicate somebody else's idea. So that's a whole interesting conversation to have.
Yeah, I feel like it's the technical skills of like, I mean, being able to draw photorealism. If you can sit down and sketch somebody or something or whatever with photorealism, with all the shading and like faces are just very complex, curvy 3D. Like I can draw cubes in 3D pretty well. I've been practicing it a lot. But like when it comes to curve shapes and shading, it's just crazy. So like the technical aspect of it, I mean, you could rate everyone's technical drawing abilities like pretty easily, and I would say that there's some people who are just way better at it than others, obviously, and so that's like a technical skill that's of merit in and of itself. And then yeah, obviously what you're saying, like the creative side of it in terms of like, well, what do you do with your skill? Like you could be a perfect photorealistic artist but then not do anything cool with it.
Yeah,
So like
for sure.
having cool ideas, and I like Midjourney because you can just run with shit and like make whatever you want.
The only hiccup people are going to run into with Midjourney and all that stuff is that you cannot trademark it and you cannot copyright it. You do not get automatic copyright protection through AI generated work.
What? I don't know. I'm not sure about it. Like you don't. Well, I think you own it. You own the intellectual property to what you create,
No, you
as
don't.
far as I know.
What you own is simply the distinction between whether or not OpenAI owns that image or whether or not you own that image. But if you try to publish that image and print it, and for example, you own no rights to it. Somebody else could just snapshot that image, put it on their own T-shirt, and sell it themselves. You can't. There's no protections there. Due to copyright law, they've already established in the Supreme Court that to copyright or trademark anything, it requires the element of the human touch. And by typing in a prompt does not signify enough of the human touch to make it yours. So what you can do though is generate an image through any of the softwares, throw it into something like Illustrator or Photoshop, edit it, make it your own a little bit, and then it's fully copyrightable.
Hmm. That's interesting. I mean, I can see the legal technicality there. That's an interesting
So
workaround.
like big megacorps cannot use AI for nearly any creative outlet. So, for example, AAA, the insurance company, the auto insurance company, or whatever, they wanted to make a new social media campaign. They legally are not allowed to use Midjourney, Canva, CapCut, any of those templated softwares because they do not own any of the assets behind them. They have to create their own individual assets and have to do their own individual motion graphics. So those businesses still spend lots of money within the creative industry, especially in production work, to get the legal rights to all of those assets.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like that seems possible, but also seems kind of like I don't know, maybe partially
I
true,
worked
but
on that account. I can tell you for a fact it's the truth.
you're saying that like most businesses can't use Canva for any of their work? Like, I mean, you can do
Big
human generated.
megacorps, so mega corporations, ones that get their work stolen left and right, they cannot use it because they do not have any legal backing behind it.
Are you saying they
So
don't use it? They decided not to use it, or are you saying that
no,
they legally can't use it?
they legally cannot use it. So like if
Hmm.
they use a CapCut template and put it on their Instagram, the person who made that CapCut template could ask for royalties and sue them because they did
Okay.
not make the template. They do not own the template. You can't use anything within Canva and copyright it because Canva owns all of the assets.
Oh,
Same with
okay. I see what you're
CapCut.
saying.
So it's like if you make a logo in Canva, that business that's using that logo cannot trademark that logo unless the only things you've used in Canva are their primary shape tools. That's it.
Hmm.
Everything else they own.
And you can't like license it from Canva or like
Nope. You have to buy all commercial rights, and you cannot do that. Canva owns all commercial rights. And Canva would then have to contact the designers that have sold their design to Canva to get them to write off that they could sell that design to somebody else.
yeah, I could see. I mean, that sounds like a flaw in their licensing. Like you would
It's
think it.
just trademark law. It has nothing to do with Canva, has nothing to do with Adobe or any of that. It is
Well, but
simply
like
regulation.
Canva could properly license all of their assets so that they can give you full access, and maybe it's a premium
So
feature or something. But
what distinguishes them from just a normal asset library then?
well, not
Nothing.
yeah.
They
Well, I mean,
have
they have a creative
no,
tool.
but to distinguish them on the market, they themselves want to own every aspect of it. If they just were able to license out every asset they own, then they are simply just a stock website that blend in with everybody else. So as a business, it's bad business practice.
Yeah, I mean, most like Shutterstock or I don't know what other ones. Like none of the asset libraries I've seen have their own design tool per se. So Canva is kind of like a it's like a Illustrator or like a I don't know, dumbed down Photoshop or whatever, right? Like it's a basic you can create
Yeah.
text and layouts and shapes and animations even. I was kind of impressed with it. Well, I'm like simultaneously impressed and disappointed with it every time I use it. Um, but yeah, in terms of the licensing, I feel like they could figure that out. But I was also thinking if you imported, like you said, all of your own stuff and only used basic shape tools or whatever, you could probably use Canva and get around it. One of the things that strikes me about Canva that was a huge advantage was that number one, you could upload all of your video. Well, and frankly, for me, like I could record video directly to Canva. So if I do like a screen recording, it's all saved on their server, so I never have to upload anything. And then I can publish. I can basically edit it, put text in, do whatever, and then push it to. They only have a smaller selection of the social networks. They don't have all of them, but they do have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Not sure about Instagram. Definitely, they don't have YouTube, which was kind of like, do I really want to make a bunch of videos in Canva and not be able to push them to YouTube? But the whole workflow that I was looking for there was like being able to just use Canva without having to do a bunch of like file system, just kind of push stuff through Canva directly to the social media sites, because you can record and create graphics right in there. But it's not quite there. I feel like Canva and OBS are kind of the same program. Like any of these programs where you can like create video, create layouts, and potentially like whether you're live streaming or recording video, I feel like it's all kind of a similar tool. I wish there was one. In fact, I'm looking at Blender on your screen right now. It's like same damn thing. Blender and OBS should just merge together. And well, I mean, obviously
They do two separate things though. Why would I don't think it's a good idea to have master programs that just bake everything into it, because if 1 0 turns to a 1, the whole program could break. The reason it's all broken up is because you need different tools for different occasions. So like Illustrator, that's all maths. That's just grids and algorithms and figuring out points to points and then filling it in. Photoshop doesn't do that. Photoshop doesn't work within that world at all. So to have those two combined together would just create a clusterfuck of programming on the back end. That it's just smarter to delegate the two tasks to two different separate programs.
when it comes to Photoshop versus Illustrator, I think the arguments are way stronger to merge them in some ways. Although, I mean, obviously, vector and pixels are completely different algorithms.
Exactly. They're just
But-
completely different tools. That's
Well,
like trying.
But you can have pixels in Illustrator, right?
Barely. It doesn't like it. And it doesn't do the same blendings. It doesn't do the same paint strokes. Like you can't, there's no pixel based paintbrush in Illustrator. You can put in images and rasterize them so they are pixels, but that is just a linked file. That is just it showing you a preview of a different file. It's not actually in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't. I haven't used Illustrator in a while. You can't copy and paste. Like if you right click an image on the internet and just paste that image data in there, it doesn't like embed it in the file.
So the way it does is here, I'll just show you right here. Let me just grab some random image off the internet on Splash. Here we go. Let's just grab this guy, drag him in. It drags in just fine. But what it is, it's a link. So if I go to my link tools, this is sitting right there. This is now another file that's just on my hard drive. It is in location temporary items. And so it just goes in
Is it in a
embeds.
folder? Like,
Yeah, it creates a new folder within my back files. So it's like anytime you throw an image into Illustrator, it is actually just making a new file on your computer. And that's how all of a sudden you can get like 280 gig Illustrator files, because somebody has just clipped 1,000 photos, and then there's just 1,000 photos on another file that it's just trying to read off of.
I wish Figma would do that, because Figma, like, it does that. It just doesn't give you access to the file. So if you ever wanted to, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so like, back to the point about pixels versus vectors and whether Photoshop and Illustrator could be more like each other. I feel like in a perfect world, you could merge those two together and have pretty much the exact same experience. All the benefits of both of them in the other one at the same time, and then just kind of bring them so close together that they're essentially the same program. And it's about like having different tools and being able to configure which tools you want to use, and then maybe having some
But
settings for how they work, and basically
I guess
configure it
then
exactly how you want.
I guess I would just bring up though, if you already find programs like Blender to be too cumbersome and there being too many menus, too hard to navigate, it's very time or dedicated to learn what every single menu does. That's what you'll get with when you marry them all together. You'll end up having menus on menus on menus on menus. The UI UX experience would be fucking horrible.
It could be.
And
It could be very quickly
it's
unless you've
way
got
more
clear menus.
advantageous. Yeah, it's like telling a painter, hey, by the way, this paint you just bought acts as oil paints, acrylic paints, and water paints. You just have to learn how to activate each pigment differently. Why wouldn't you just stick with oils or stick with acrylics or stick with water? Because they all act differently. They all do different things. They dry differently. They go down on paper differently. They hold pigment differently.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's obviously arguments to be made about having like trying to combine a hammer and a saw into one tool. It's like, okay, not going to be a good hammer or a good saw, and
Mm-hmm.
making a hammer saw is probably not a good idea. But when you're doing image editing and a lot of times you want vectors and pixels in the same design, and having to go back and
Mm-hmm.
forth between those
So
programs, I don't know.
with Photoshop though, right now I'm able to copy and paste a design into Photoshop from Illustrator with one click. Super easy. This sits in Photoshop as a vector file. If I want to edit it, it just pops me back to Illustrator. And then I can find it on my canvas and edit it there. Move that off to the side, hit save,
Yeah,
go
the
back to Photoshop, and it's automatically updated
the links
because
to the
the
files
files
are pretty
are linked.
cool. I don't
Right?
remember if it was doing that back when I used to use Adobe. I don't know if that was a new thing. Do you have to set it up that way, or does it automatically?
It automatically does because Adobe's gone to the Creative Cloud service instead of the suites.
You don't have to
It's
import the
integrate.
file?
No,
If you just copy and paste a random part of an Illustrator file, like a Word or
let me
it'll just,
grab this arm, the single arm, Control C, go to Photoshop, Control V, paste. There's the arm. There's my singular arm.
your screen's still 20 seconds behind. I'm watching it catch up. And now uh, if you edit it in Illustrator, will it update the vector? Like it's all linked?
Yep. So let's see. Let's copy this back in. So what it does is, again, since it's linking files, what it's doing in Photoshop, it's actually created within a subfolder another Illustrator file that is solely the arm. And if I wanted to just edit solely the arm, it will bring up just the arm in the Illustrator file if I can find where the fucking artboard one, there it is. And then if I
Interesting.
grab, this line on this point and say, let's just make this sharper. Save that. Go back to Photoshop. There it is. So it's working non-destructively. I'm able to make edits where I need to without either flattening this image or whatever. So, but what's the bad thing that happens to all of this is that on my back end, I have now hundreds of ghost files. And so every once in a while, I have to go into here, go to settings, cache, and clear a cache. Scratch disks. And yeah, it says now I have 24 gigs available on my hard drive. When I first started these files, I had 200 gigs. So I have hidden files in the background. That's how all of this works.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean that's the seamless workflow between Photoshop and Illustrator seems to have improved. I haven't used those in a while, but still seems like, well, I don't know, just in my opinion, the next logical step is to just kind of merge them together so that the Illustrator experience is sort of just right in the same UI, so you don't have to switch. And I don't know.
But they both have pen tools, and both pen tools work differently within each program.
They're quite similar though.
They're quite similar, but the algorithm behind the back end is different. When you use the pen tool in Illustrator, it's creating that vector line. The pen tool in Photoshop is not creating a vector line, it's creating a mask.
Yeah. Seems like a technicality. I mean, I haven't used it either in such a long, several years, and I don't know the
They
differences
just,
between them. I mean, I know what you're saying, but you can convert like a
yeah,
selection to a path to a, mask to it. Like, it's sort of the same thing at the end of the day, right? A line is, the path is a line is, should be able to switch between those things pretty easily. I'm
yeah.
not saying it has to happen. And then so you get into After Effects, and then it's like everything works a little differently. All the masking, all of the pen tool, all of the everything. And so as like a new designer, when you're coming into this thing, and every program you jump into works differently, I just think it's not the way
It's because
forward.
it's not advantageous for a designer to learn how to do print layout, motion graphics, 3D rendering, and all of these other aspects. It's just that's trying to become a powerhouse and an individual that can accomplish everything. That's not how that works. You kind of want to be focused in on one skill set. Like I started with print. I've learned how to print shit very well. Being a print nerd led me into 3D printing, which led me to Blender. And that's why I learned Blender. Not and then motion graphics, it's again like it's not a service I'll ever sell because I'm garbage at it compared to people who sell it. And the people who are professional motion graphic designers do not think the same way for print. And they lack a lot of skill sets with print knowledge, bleeds, print zones, cut lines, what piece of paper versus laminated piece of paper. It's crazy shit. So each person you do learn specific skill sets for each aspect of design, and making a giant motherload app would conflate all of it and make it very difficult for anybody.
Unless it worked well. Like if it was just a badass app that worked well, performance wise, it has to be quick, obviously. And then in terms of the tools, just kind of like on demand. It's sort of like the File Explorer. Like if all of it were just integrated into the File Explorer, where you see your projects, you see your files, and whether you wanted to add. Well, I mean, it's like the audio editing. That's the timeline controls for something like After Effects. Blender has timeline controls. The keyframing, all of these things. Like I don't
And
know.
they all use the same lingo. Like the timeline controls between Blender and After Effects are vice versa. Once you've learned one, you know how to apply it in the other.
Sort of, but don't they work? I mean, I feel like they work differently. I feel like
Oh, they work the same. You gotta set a origin point, move the timeline, set a keyframe for movement. And then you can scrub through it and it will rotate, move, whatever. It's the same buttons.
yeah, but I don't know. I mean, maybe it's more similar than I think, but when it comes to all of the different things you might find yourself wanting to do, like the curve editor and the easing and like duplicating keyframes or alt dragging on keyframes or hiding and showing more or less properties. I mean, like all of these view tools and all of the like, zooming in and out on the timeline versus like, it's basically like the X scale versus the Y scale or whatever for, like changing just positioning everything the way that you want it. Like they all work a little differently. I get into DaVinci Resolve and it's just like, they're all timelines and they all kind of work the same way, but all of those little nuances just they really slow you down and like get in the way. And I'm sorry, you won't ever convince me. I'm 100% convinced that in the future there will be one ultimate app it's like coding, editing, 3D, design, development, audio, all the tools, and it's basically based on just a handful of the core tools, like or the core interfaces, like a timeline. Like you said, it's very similar. So I think, creating your own timeline system, like or like UI, I guess, so that when you wanted to browse a timeline, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's a motion graphic you're making, whatever you're viewing, if you want to use a specific set of tools to view that timeline, you can kind of configure your own app to do it. And then when it comes to image editing, you can configure your own tools. And yeah, the more configurable it is, the better. Obviously, like you said earlier, if you have a monster tool with too much UI and it's not organized well enough, it can become, there's downsides to it. So and I'm not trying to say I know exactly how to do it. I just feel like could be possible. Well, like in Blender, you have all these menus. This is one of the things, like, I spend so much time on those I like the colorful icons in that little toolbar on the right there. I just can't tell you how much time I spend clicking through those, like, one by one, like, where the fuck is that setting? I go through them up and down and up and down, and maybe if I was smarter and, like, recognized which icon was which, I could figure it out. But, so I guess where my mind was going there is the organization of the application and kind of configuring the workspaces and the toolbars and the panels. And Blender is good at that, but you can't really, a certain amount of what Blender does is baked into the code and you don't really have access to it. So you kind of need to just unlock all of the things, like, just to be able to move settings around and cleans. And basically what they need is like a Blender Lite, or I don't know, like a more streamlined, user-friendly version of it, because there's still, and it's gotten a lot better since the right click days where the primary click was right click, and it's gotten better, but still I feel like it's partly because it's free and you have thousands and upon thousands of developers contributing to it, that everybody kind of does their own thing in their own way, and you have lots of different menus and stuff. But I do think that Blender has a video editor in there, believe it or not, and it's kind of I think it's got an image editor to, maybe not. It's got a lot of stuff going on in there, and so could it become better at all of the things that Adobe does? I kind of think it could. It's got a long way to go because Adobe's got some badass software. And then there's the whole free aspect of it, which is a double-edged sword. It's great for the community, great for building, so many people you can use Blender because it's free. You just download it and go. Whereas Adobe, you got to pay for it. Yet, because it's free, they don't get income. They don't get, there's not such a good business there for it. So I think that's a big struggle with any open source software, is that when it's free, they don't get any money. And so open source stuff usually struggles unless some big company can get behind it.
Blender gets a lot of private funding from donations.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So it's like, imagine I've built an entire line of toys, like Frank, for example, in Blender. I make millions of dollars off of that. I would happily turn around and give Blender $1 million to be like, thank you for making an accessible program. And then they get to run with that and do whatever they need to do with that. And that is what happens. Individual, private people just want to support the program, support the thing, because it's community-based. And that, since it's not profit-based, it's not profit-oriented, they're not running into the same issues that Adobe runs into, where they're like, we have to appeal to the stockholders, and therefore we invented 10 new apps to compete with these other programs.
Yeah. I think it was you who was pointing out the Adobe Express app, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other day I pulled that up. Dude, I don't know. I think you left when I started ranting about how it's a direct clone of Canva. It's literally the exact same layout, the same buttons, the same structure, the same workflow.
Yeah. I
mean, it's almost like blatant copyright infringement, talking about IP. How can they get away with that? And I don't know if Canva just has. I mean, I'm trying to remember who sued.
Because you can't copyright. Canva tried to sue Adobe and failed, because you can't trademark or copyright really universal UI UX rules. You can't really copyright this button was placed here. That doesn't work. So yeah, Express is a direct copy of Canva as a response to Canva existing in the marketplace. What you get with Adobe Express, though, is the ability to trademark everything. I would be able to, as a designer for Megacorp, is design them 30 different assets, throw it up into an Adobe Cloud server, and then everybody can use those assets on Adobe Express. And that is what makes Adobe Express more viable.
Well, I think that I didn't push through the features of Express. I think Canva has some potential there that I liked, that I was trying to make it work, but I don't know. I started writing my notes like it's not. I don't know. You saw that little like audio animation I was doing where I was trying to time the graphics to the audio, which I think is cool, but it was painfully hard to do, and it's because of the timeline. It's just not the right timeline experience, not the right precision and like zoom and UI UX, I guess. So I don't know if it expresses any better, but
No.
kind of was.
As an actual designer, I mean, I fucking hate Express. I also hate Canva. And that's also because we're in an era of people who've downloaded Canva and Express and have learned how to do basic outlines and have just decided, oh, I'm now a professional designer. I'm going to charge you $3,000 for a Canva logo. Oh, shit, you can't trademark that? My bad.
Yeah, I haven't heard that whole licensing thing. I wonder what should I Google to see this Canva licensing problem?
On their website. So you can, yeah, they've broken down on their whole thing. The only things you're allowed to trademark off of Canva is when you use their primary tools. And you can't trademark any of the fonts though, because Canva owns all of the fonts. You can't trademark any assets that are pre-built within Canva. But if you make a moon only using primary shapes, you could potentially try and trademark that moon, but good luck trademarking such a basic shape.
Well, so when you say trademark, you mean like preventing anyone else from using it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, they could still like, they still have the rights to use it. Like if they use some asset on Canva, I think they're still legally protected to post it to their social media. Like they can't prevent other people from
But
using
if,
the
for
same
example, yeah, but if like Apple, for example, used an asset off Canva, the designer who gave it to Canva could sue Apple.
You see, that's the part that kind of sounds wild. Like maybe you're right. Maybe they have some, but like wouldn't Canva have a licensing agreement that would, like they're
Mm-mm.
whoever's contributing to their asset library is signing over the rights, right? Like they're either hiring people to create stuff or they're buying the stuff or whatever. But
Or they're just straight up stealing it themselves. Because Canva's also been caught up in that, stealing assets from designers off the internet and then trademarking it and making it so that the designer loses out on their own shit.
I mean,
They
that's
are
obviously illegal if they can
No, it's
prove it.
not. I mean, a lot of places do it. Getty Images, all of their fucking stock photos are stolen. Getty Image actually will just downloaded the entire historical archive of images from the U.S. Website, put it on their put it on Getty Images, and now Getty Images owns all the commercial rights to everything that's in a public archive, and they do sue people for it. A woman donated 10,000 images of national parks to the archive. Getty Images stole all those images, trademarked them, and then sued the photographer for having it on their portfolio.
I mean, that's wild. Like, I
Welcome
can't imagine
to
that would
corporate.
happen.
It does. Corporate sucks. There's evil people out there in the world.
But I mean, what kind of judge is gonna? Well, I mean, maybe if they signed like contractual agreements
A,
along the way, and then
no, a judge simply looks at the paperwork. The judge goes, the artist donated their work. The service downloaded free licensing, and then the service licensed it out on their own entity. They now own it. It got defended in court. Supreme Court said, yep, totally legal.
well, okay, so you keep talking about trademarking, which is sort of like claiming full ownership and preventing
Yep.
other people from having it,
Yes.
which I mean, I just fundamentally, I mean, that just seems wrong to me that you could steal trademark something that doesn't belong, that never belonged to you. Like if there's,
Yeah. You're hoping that the morality of humans is just.
well, I mean, sometimes I believe in conspiracies all the way through. So like, it's not that I'm incapable of believing some wild shit. It's just more like I kind of feel like usually there's a better explanation that that if you look into the technicalities of it, that you know maybe there's a reasonable explanation, or even if it doesn't seem so reasonable, that based on a technicality, that it's maybe not so terrible. That well, okay, so it's like there's Unsplash and Pexels and all these like free image sites, right?
Mhm.
And they're free to use. Like I haven't well, when it comes to software, the MIT license is like this. Once you see the MIT license, it's like this is free domain. Basically, you can do whatever you want with it. You just can't hold us liable. And so
Yep.
anyone can use it and make money off it and whatever. But they can't like claim copyright to it because like the original publisher, you know, like
So
they can't download an MIT based software and then say nobody else can use this. We are we're trademarking it or copywriting it or whatever. We now own it and nobody else can just because like we got to it first and or whatever. Like I don't think it just doesn't
if
seem
they
like
buy commercial, they can buy commercial rights. If they buy the commercial rights, that's totally how it happens.
yeah. Well, if they set up a contractual agreement with the original copyright owner. But you know what I mean, right? Like just because you're making it open source doesn't mean that somebody can just steal the original ownership kind of, right? Like you still maintain ownership, you still are the copyright owner of it.
So Blender, for example, is registered as an LLC. They are trademarked. Everything that they do is trademarked. But everything that's on the back end with the programming is donated time. So you can't go and steal Blender's code and call it a day. Blender still owns all that code,
Yeah,
even
I'm
though it's
not
an
sure about
open source
Blender.
program.
Is it MIT licensed?
No idea.
I've never looked at the Blender source code. I probably should, but I think it's C or C++, and I don't know it. I think it's it's kind of like this viral, we call it copy left. The GNU public license. I'd have to read up on which one they're using because I think there's the GPL v3 I think is, but basically the idea of it is if you want to use the software, you have to use the same license on your software. So like let's say I wanted to create Blender, Super Blender, let's just say is my like Blender based program. I can use I access their source code, I use their source code, I modify it a little bit, and I call it Super Blender. Their license agreement says I have to use the same license agreement. And it's sort of this like viral or contagious license agreement because then anyone who wants to use it has to also kind of contribute, essentially open up their source code. So then somebody could make like the Uber Super Blender
Yeah,
and
that's
use
how
mine and make
OBS
better.
and Streamlabs works. So Streamlabs is a skinned OBS. They added some features of their own. They've made a custom UI, but at the back end of it, it is all OBS. And they have to use the same licensing that OBS uses, which is open license or GNU. So
Okay.
Streamlabs is based off of OBS.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew it was kind of like built on it. I wasn't sure what the licenses for.
It is a one-to-one build-up. So when OBS updates, Streamlabs will update 48 hours later.
Yeah, I wonder how much of the system they change, or if it's really like. Well, I mean, they must
It's
add a bunch of features, but they might also be able to change some of the stuff.
So they can skin it. They can change the way that the UI UX works. They add a bunch of bloatware. So that's the issue with Streamlabs is that there's a bunch of back end added on stuff to make it so it's more user friendly. It's easier to add overlays. It's easier to add your chat. It's easier to add uh, little, what are they called? When somebody subscribes and your screen lights up or whatever. You can add all of that a lot easier within Streamlabs. But at the end of the day, it's still just built off of OBS. And if you want the original power, go to OBS.
Yeah, I kind of realized that. That's why I stuck with the OBS, because it's more fundamental. But I wonder for OBS and, or we just Blender, like from a business standpoint, if that's the best. It's probably more of like from a moral standpoint that they want to keep it free and accessible and also let people build with it, as opposed to the MIT license which would let wait a second. So Streamlabs open source then?
Mm-hmm. No, OBS is not is open source. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, like if OBS is that copyleft license, then Streamlabs would have to be, like, by law, be also open source.
Free and open source streaming built off of OBS. There it is, right there.
Is it free and open source though? I didn't know that it was. Huh. Okay.
And these two programs are directly fighting the ideology and morality of capitalism. They're putting the power into the user, not the stockholder.
Yeah, I don't know. Capitalism is like a pretty deep topic. I don't know if talking about the
we're in late stages of it.
Are you capitalism?
Yes and no. So I'm anti neo-capitalism, is what we're in right now. I do understand the concept of simply trading items amongst each other for gains and it being something that we hold in value. That is almost human nature. We've done that through everything. But the idea that humanity needs to suffer in the pursuits of profit, fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. And there's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. A billionaire has absolutely taken advantage, has abused, and most likely hurt a lot of people to get there.
I don't know.
I mean, fuck. Look at Amazon. They have people peeing in fucking bottles because they don't allow them to have bathroom breaks.
I mean, I've heard this, and I don't know much about Bezos. I watched him on Lex Friedman's podcast, and I thought he was a pretty brilliant guy. Like, or at least I enjoyed listening to him talk, and thought, I haven't heard him talk more than like once.
Let's talk about Amazon's most recent hiccup. Their whole cashierless walk-through system for shopping or whatever. That grocery store you could walk through, it would scan you with 1,000 cameras, and it was AI.
Yeah.
No, it was 1,000 fucking Indian workers.
Yeah, I know. I heard about the story.
And they just
I think it's hilarious.
and they quit. And it's just like, yeah, no, that's fucked up. It's not good. I mean, if you go into any research into like printing, for example, it's impossible for any designer to be an ethical designer, period. If we are really that worried about it, it's like the computers I use to do all my work contain really finite minerals and metals. How do you get those? You kill a lot of people to get that. If I was to print, let's say I wanted to print, this is a great fucking example, actually. Let's see, I wanted to make this fucking piece of tape, measuring tape. This yellow kills 1,000 people a year on average because it's the most toxic pigment to create. That's not regulated. Super toxic paper. That's not regulated.
It'd make a good meme. Yellow kills.
Yellow does kill. I mean,
no more yellow in graphic design. We will outlaw the yellow color from operating systems.
Well, we have outlawed colors, actually. I have a whole book about it. Um, where is my rare color book? We have a whole slew of colors that are no longer legally allowed to be made and are considered dead pigments due to the fact that they were so toxic to create. I can't find my book,
But I mean, can't
but
you
it's a
just mix
dope book.
pigments
It-
together to make other colors? Maybe
how do you
some limitations, obviously.
original pigment? So like red is ground up by a bunch of fucking beetles at times. Indigo blue, gene blue. Indigo was the largest crop, second to cotton, when it was invented. Super toxic. Killed lots of people.
Hmm. It's interesting because I don't know much about those things, although I think I gotta go in 5 minutes to pick up my daughter. But yeah, I
Word.
mean, what were we talking about a second ago though? Before the yellow thing?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, capitalism, right?
Yep.
So
Look into donut economics.
okay, um,
Donut economics is basically the ideology that we could keep current stage capitalism into place, but if you become an individual that earns a certain amount of money, aka billions of dollars, society will take 90% of that to recirculate that money and back into the lower end. So you have the top 0.1% of people actually helping fund humanity and not take advantage.
hmm. I mean, I fundamentally disagree with the idea of taxing the shit out of the rich people. Like my
Oh, I'd fucking do it. I don't give a shit. If you have $1 billion goddamn dollars, you could take 90% of that and you would still have like what, $100 million
yeah,
or
but
$10 million? Like that's still a fuck ton of money.
it is, but I
What?
mean,
What?
who are you to take a billionaire's billions? Like he made them $1 at a time, just like
No, he
you.
fucking didn't. They took advantage of a lot of shit.
Well, if somebody does something criminal, I think we should make things more or like less criminal, I guess, obviously. But generally, like if you trust the legal system, which I don't, but if you could trust the legal system, which I think maybe you need to focus more on the legal system than just the ownership of like lots of money or lots of things. I mean, I think everyone should want to have lots of nice things, like
Why
personal
are we living
improvement
in a
and
material society? Why is value determined by how many things you own?
well, I mean, would you rather have a nice car or a shitty car or like house or
Why
clothes
not be
or
great for the fact that you have a car?
well, I suppose, but the point is that having nice things is of value and people are willing to pay more for nice things. Like that's just fundamental, right?
Absolutely. And why is it though that there's nothing stopping you from making lots of money? If you have $10 million in the bank, there's nothing really on this planet you can't afford except for the stupid expensive yachts
I want
or
one.
planes.
I want one.
And but why? What
Well,
actually would it do to enhance your life? Nearly nothing.
I
You're
mean,
not going to go fish on it. You're going to have to spend maintenance on it. The slogan amongst boat owners is the best day of boat owning is the first day you buy it and the day you sell it. Not the days between.
damn. Well, I mean, they gotta find some cool boat parties to go to, or like go sail the world, or I don't know. Like I haven't. I've always dreamt of it though, and I don't know what the boat lifestyle is like. My dad lived on a sailboat in California for a little bit. I visited him out there, and in terms of like the actual question of do I need a yacht? Obviously no, but is it something I would like? Obviously yes, and I could discuss that and more. But I guess just more fundamentally, I would say like, who are you to tell me that I'm not allowed to want a yacht? Like, what if I want a giant chicken or I don't whatever it
I'm
is
not,
that I might want? Like, why is it your business what I want to spend my money on? Like, isn't that the freedom of that we have?
yeah, you
And
can spend your money on whatever you want, but I'm also going to argue that if you are in a position that you have that kind of income, but let's say your fucking neighbor down the road has a hole in their kitchen wall It's more advantageous of a community and people to help each other than just go down an idealistic view of individualism. We need to ditch individualism as a concept of humanity. The way society ran and thrived in the past was actually loving each other, helping each other. The reason kings and queens were honestly accepted is because they made it so that their villagers had decent lives, for sure.
Not
There's no
always.
stopping, but there were arguments for it. I
Yeah.
mean, there are historical states of that. I can bring up the Riley clan history of Ireland. That was a family who came in, built foundations, built a whole community. Their community fucking loved them. And then the British came in with their military and their guns and their pew pews, and the Rileys went, "We're good. We don't want to die." And so we left. And then the Irish got fucking riddled with problems when the British came in. So, no. Communities can come together and thrive. It's just all dependent on checking the toxic ones. Now we can go into the question of morality and whether or not to inflict that morality onto others and whether or not we could all have like-minded morality. But that is a problem due to the individuals. And all it takes is one person to think otherwise, and then poof, everything gets sidetracked.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of individualism, like, I'm not 100% sure everything that comes along with that. I mean, obviously I know what an individual is, but individualism versus like group identity or whatever, I know it's a lot of political, it kind of defines the political divide in a lot of ways, which is kind of strange. Like, you seem more left leaning than right leaning, which, I would definitely say I'm more right leaning than left leaning, although I think putting everyone into two
Yeah,
buckets is probably a
yeah.
bad idea. But
I don't, yeah. The two-party system is a flawed idea. More think of it as a radial grid with like 6 points. I would say I pull towards some other points more than others, but at the end of the day, we're all on the same spectrum. I just care about certain things more than other things. And other people are the same. They care about other aspects of life more than other bits of life.
yeah, and to each his own, obviously
Mhm.
that's what life's about. I don't know if you can see my stream. I got to go like in 30 seconds here, but as a quick note on yachts, I pulled this up from my mid journey. I was trying to get a desktop CNC to automate the manufacture of a miniature yacht. It's like,
I like that.
well,
See,
why?
that's fun.
Because if you can build a small yacht on your desk, you can build a little bit bigger yacht in your backyard and maybe a mega yacht in the ocean one day. And if you can automate it with CNC machines, and if you're into 3D printing, like, I think CNCs, computers and robots and electronics and like manufacturing are all kind of fascinating.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure.
I'll be back
Well-
in a little bit. If you're still around, we should hang out more and stream like this. It's been fun.
For sure. Alrighty, man. Well, you have a good day. I'm gonna possibly go for a walk myself.
Thanks, Jackson. We'll catch you later.
Yep. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.